is Titilola Akinlawon. I hold a bachelor's degree in law from the University of Lagos. I went to the Nigerian Law School and I was called to the bar in 1981. Apparently, it was just exactly 40 years on Sunday that I was called to the Nigerian bar. I went back for my master's program in the same University of Lagos, and thereafter have been in the full legal practice as a litigator. Actually, and I'm from Nigeria. I practice in Lagos, Nigeria. The idea of becoming a lawyer, I never really intended to become a lawyer. Truly, when I was going into the university, I applied to study economics. But unfortunately for me, during my school certificate examination, I only got a pass in mathematics. So I cannot get into social sciences without a credit in mathematics. But because I did so well in my A-levels, it was like automatic for them to take me into the Faculty of Law. And it was, I mean, it's just a bliss. It was wonderful for me to become a lawyer, and it has been so fulfilling and so wonderful to go to court. A day for me is good when I go to court and have to cross-examine. That's the best day for me. And all the while, to become a SAN, it wasn't really my intention to become a SAN, but I had a very nasty experience when a male client insisted that he cannot take a woman, particularly a woman that is not a SAN, on as a counsel. So they had to get another person, a junior colleague, to lead me in the matter. It was very frustrating. So I made up my mind that henceforth, I have to make sure I pursue to become this SAN, which is why I'm here today. And along the way, I faced challenges, wonderful professional challenges. The system in Nigeria is such that to get your court processes served is a problem. You really have to pursue the bailiffs and the sheriffs to ensure that processes are served, because of course, without processes, the court cannot assume jurisdiction. And getting around to hearing the cases in court, the delay, it takes inordinately long time for cases to be heard in our courts. As of today, in my law office, we have over 16 pending appeals before the Court of Appeal in Lagos alone, ranging from 2006, where appeals had been entered since 2006 up to date. And it's so very disconcerting to have so many cases in your dockets and not being heard. The other issue is abuse of process, which by litigators like me, you find out that if they have a bad case, they will throw in something to scuttle the hearing of the case, and then the abuse will continue and the delay will continue. But more importantly, for me, is the quality and the work ethics of some of the justices in the system here. Sometimes it can be very, very frustrating. But those challenges, I always say that, well, there are challenges, you have to find a way to work around them. So I made up my mind that I was going to come back into litigation with a bang. So I go to court, I throw my weight around, I throw my height around to ensure that I get what I need to get. When my cases are for trial, I am ready to go on to trial, and I would insist that the case will get on to trial. If it's not getting on to trial, then I will ask for punitive costs. So those are some of the ways I've been able to work around those challenges. And now, to young women that want to become lawyers, I say to you that you have to be focused. You must make up your mind from day one that this is what I want to achieve, and you pursue it with so much vigor and energy. And another issue that it's the law practice is not meant for lazy people. You must really be very hardworking. Like, for instance, I had to stay up till about 1 a.m. yesterday trying to finish up on writing a paper, the representation that I need to make. It's a very demanding profession, and anybody who is not ready to be focused on the work at hand and spend countless hours, burn the candle both ends, it will be very difficult to be able to sustain and retain that enviable position in the legal profession. And of course, you will have to acquire the knowledge that is required to be able to achieve anything in the legal profession. And now I'm asked, how do I become a SAN, a female SAN? You know, like in Nigeria today, up until this point, we have over about 620 SANs dead and alive. And out of these 620, only 27 are women, dead and alive. Although the very first female SAN in Nigeria, Mrs. Chief Folake Solanke, was made SAN in 1981. She celebrated 40 years not too long ago. But since from 1981 to date, we've had only 27. So it's such a very difficult task. The conditions are very rigorous. They're very demanding. They're very onerous, actually, if I put it, because we are expected to have like 6 Supreme Court cases, 6 or 8 Court of Appeal cases and 10 High Court cases in the space of 10 years. In Nigeria as of today, for you to even have a Supreme Court case, if the appeal is entered today, it will take like 13, 15 years before it's heard. So you can see how onerous and how almost impossible it is for anybody to be able to put all those together within 10 years. So I would say that any female that wants to become an SAN must be intentional about it. You must be focused. You must look at it from day one, that this is what I want to do. This is what I want to achieve, and continuously work towards it. Make sure you go to courts regularly. The judges get to know you. They know that you are tenacious about your cases. You want your cases to move, and your cases will move. And line up all those appeals, all the Supreme Court cases, to make sure that you fall within the 10-year window that is required. Apart from that, you need references from justices. If you don't go to court, if you're not an amiable person, you rarely might not be able to get the positive reference that is actually required for the application. And it takes a lot of efforts and money to get there. You must have a good law library, a very impressive law library, because one of the conditions is that your law office will have to be inspected to see the number of juniors that you have, the number of facilities that you have within the law office. So these are all some of the issues. Of course, there are too many. There's so many things that is required to become an SAN. So we require a lot of this, and for the female to be able to sustain it, particularly marrying the practice of law with family life, to nurture children, to make sure your children turn out well, at the same time to continue with your law practice. Is a bit tedious, is a bit very demanding, but I know that as demanding as it is attainable. So you can go on to work towards it steadily, and I'm sure that by the time the 10-year window is done, you may have to have all the things that you require in place to become a senior advocate of Nigeria. Thank you.